Welcome back. This is SA Today with me, Nceba. Well, of course, it's still Youth Month, and staying with the youth theme, World Changes candidates have partnered with local stakeholders to launch a drug awareness campaign. I'm joined in studio by the youth who are activists in their fields, and we're going to be speaking about a range of issues. Katlego, Mabena and Nceba Ngwenya join me now. Thank you so much for joining me, Nceba and Katlego. Nceba, let's start with you. Of course, it's Youth Month. This month, there's so many issues facing South Africans, particularly the youth in this country. We're speaking now at the back of a tragedy in the Eastern Cape where so many youngsters, 21 of them exactly, died in a tavern. A 13-year-old was one of them. What's your reaction when you see, such stories and you read such news happening to young children, your peers?
It's a very painful outcome, really painful, especially comprehending that these young learners or young teens died at a very young age without even having the possibility of actually experiencing their ideas and their potential of dreams. So that's very painful to hear, and to see that there's a lot of substance abuse and drug abuse within the youth, and which is consistently killing the youth. So this was really heartbreaking to me, really heartbreaking.
Now, Katlego, of course, your focus as an activist for both of you is to focus on, the abuse of drugs, the abuse of alcohol amongst the youth. Now, that tragedy that we saw is testament to what is actually happening. When you see scenes like that, where people are actually blaming the youth, what's your reaction to what you are seeing in as far as drug and alcohol abuse are concerned?
Honestly, it is devastating and saddening. I mean, we as the youth are responsible for taking the responsibility and to strengthen and to empower each other in these times of just the youth taking drugs and substances. So we have to empower each other to do the right thing. So it is saddening that it turned out this way. Yes.
Whose responsibility do you think it is, to make sure that the youth are motivated and encouraged, not only looking at what happened in East London, but just across the board in this country, especially when you look at the lack of recreational, activities for the youth, whose responsibility do you think it is to make sure that those things happen?
I think it's the youth itself. We are responsible to empower each other to stand up for each other, so that the upcoming generation does not create the kind of problems that we already have. So it is our responsible to build a safe environment in these times, a foundation that is secure enough to have a future. Yes.
Nceba, you're in grade 12. Yes. Of course, the future awaits, or so you're told.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this journey of becoming an activist. How important was it for you to make sure that you encourage your peers, you encourage yourself, you motivate yourselves? If you look at what is currently happening in the country, you only have to probably rise up as a youth and be active.
Yeah. It came across as a very difficult journey, I must say. Then again, I feel like it's very important for young people to know their purpose. I don't know if you know about the video that went viral of my school smoking weed. And after that video, I got exposed to a lot of things, therefore, and also started learning a lot about myself, and that's where I started finding my purpose. So I truly believe that a lot of people are consuming these substances and drugs because they don't know who they are. And so my reaction to the whole thing is that it's important that we all play part in this journey of making sure that we are creating a better future for ourselves as young people as well. And yeah.
Now, you say a very interesting thing, and a lot of people don't actually know that self-introspection is very important. Yeah. You say that most of the youth don't know who they are.
Yes.
And I remember that video that went viral of the youth smoking. A lot of them seemed to be doing it because they were encouraged by others. How important is it, for young people, especially in high school, where they're about to finish school, to know themselves?
It's very important. I feel like also not knowing themselves also impacts onto the unemployment rate, because a lot of people are studying things that are not quite impactful to the economic stance of things for the country. So it's very important for young people, especially in high school, to know themselves so that you don't get influenced into doing things that are not for you, that are not morally obligated to stand for what you stand for. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's very important to let people get to know themselves. That's very important for me.
Katlego, if somebody's watching today and they happen to be also in grade 11 or grade 12, and they seek help and they want to reach out, but they really can't because of a lot of other issues, including peer pressure, what would your message be to them, especially this Youth Month?
When you are able to identify and to know that you have a problem, it starts from there, that you know that you need help, and to seek that kind of help, you obviously have to talk to your parents, but it is not easy, because as teenagers, parents do not fully understand our problems. So I think the best way to deal with that is to start a social group where you can talk about your problems and issues, and to empower each other. Yes.
Now we're going to wrap our conversation, but I want you to perhaps give a message out to government, or also law enforcement authorities out there. Just some of the tips that you would like to give in terms of what children want, what the youth want, especially if you look at that tragedy that happened in East London, where a 13-year-old girl was in the tavern. What's your message to those that are in power?
Well, I would like to say that it is not easy to be on your own and to be the change that everybody needs to see, and to be able to outcome the circumstances of just being who you want to be. So it is important that we all help each other to have a better quality of life.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Nceba, your final parting shots, just in terms of speaking to the leadership. I mean, you're a young man. You seem to know yourself, but a lot of the youth in this country are struggling. Your message to government?
My message to government is that it's really important that they start allowing young people to start playing a role in leadership, because I feel like there are old men trying to deal with issues that they can't even relate to as they are far beyond that age that we are experiencing. So I feel and really believe that let's start allowing young people to go in stands of leadership so that we can start tackling the problems and the issues that we are facing. Because really, if we were really proactive, this wouldn't have happened. So the problems that we are really reactive, the government that we have is really reactive to a lot of things that we have. But yeah, that's where I want to leave things.
I want to thank you both so much. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. Thank you so much for being brave enough to fight for your peers and for yourselves. And I wish you good luck, especially you, Nceba, going to be doing your finals very soon.
Yeah.
And of course, you'll be following Katlego in Nceba's footsteps. Thank you guys so much for coming through. All right, that was Katlego, Mabena and Nceba Ngwenya joining me now in studio, and of course talking about very hard, circumstances currently facing the youth of South Africa in this current moment, and raising some very pertinent issues in terms of how the youth have to really be the change that they want to see, and also, of course, they can't do it alone, and they need a lot of support from government and our leaders.